I'm really excited to be here and talk to you guys about retention marketing. So CRM experimentation is all about figuring out how to maximize the value of first-party data across a house file or across your customer base or across. So first-party data is probably one of the most valuable assets that a lot of brands have today at their disposal. And so really it's a matter of figuring out, okay, how can I maximize the value and grow my business, grow my retention, share of the pie overall in terms of customer contribution and revenue, but also how can I be more efficient, right? I want to be able to figure out exactly which micro segments I should be targeting with which types of media in order to drive a objective. So that is what we are collectively calling contact strategy testing or CRM experimentation, is figuring out what is the optimal mix of that contact strategy. And so the solution that we generally try to talk to a lot of marketers about is coming at it with a kind of a two-pronged approach, right? So you need to have a customer reporting practice and you need to have a customer experimentation practice. So within customer reporting here, you're trying to take all of your house file key KPIs and track them over time. The second side of this is the customer experimentation. What's going on with a brand within the customer reporting side? You know, there's something going on with lapsed customers, right? Therefore, I want to grab that segment and run an experiment on it. And ultimately, you can run the test, get the results, and then apply those results to your business as usual strategy so that, again, you can drive that objective that you're looking for. We're selecting a segment from it, an audience from it, and then randomizing that into a test and control group. Furthermore, you can kind of zoom into all of these segments depending on how you segmented it out originally and how you kind of partitioned it, right? And then you could get all sorts of combinations of those, right? So on top of customer reporting and on top of customer experimentation, you can also run a universal holdout. But you want to select a sample of the customer file and hold it out from all media for an ongoing period, right? Of course, you need to continue to churn customers in and churn customers out, but being able to maintain this universal holdout will allow brands to understand what is the natural baseline. And so this is a really great way for brands to just be able to compare.
We started looking at their house file. So they had like 300,000 customers, and this is how their RFM looked like, right? So now we wanted to identify pockets where things were working for them, and we wanted to, if there are pockets where we can do some improvement, right? So we created a compare study. Have your recency, 0 to 6 months, 7 to 12 months. And then you have your new customers who have occurred in this 19-day period. And then we have classified 0 to 18 months as existing and 18 plus as lapsed buyers, right? And 2022, you had 63,000 customers in the 0 to 6 months buyers, right? And then 7 to 12 months had 34,000. And then we have the conversion. So how many of these 71,000 people convert in this 19 days, right? So there were 2,224 conversions and 149K in revenue. Let's look at the customers. They have grown their customers significantly. There's some opportunity if we can target them and make them make more purchases and stay in the existing, right? So there's definitely some opportunity here. And now we wanted to see if there is like something we can do, some kind of testing, but they already had this idea that conversion optimized seemed to be working better for them, right? So we recommended a small sample test. So we decided to take like 10% of these audience across all the segments and activated 5% of them in the conversion optimized segment, and the other 5% was reach frequency. But if you look at it at an email opt-in level, right? So for not opted in customers, conversion targeting was really incremental. You were getting a negative level, right? So people who were receiving emails, they were kind of getting annoyed looking at ads. This is painting a very different story, right? Earlier we saw conversion optimized was incremental and then reach frequency was only slightly incremental, right? But when you look at it this way, you see there are certain pockets where conversion optimized is highly incremental with a pretty decent stat sig, but there are also areas where reach frequency is highly incremental while conversion optimized does not work. Yeah. So now we have this information, right? So what are we going to do? We have BFCM ahead, so we need to do some planning there, right? So this was the recommendation that we did. And we also gave some spend projections. we did do another compare study, right? But you can see that the dollar per customer has gone up across the board, right? So your existing went from minus 0.69 to 7% now, and your lapsed as well came down from minus 43 to minus 26%, right? So this was very good. And also the total revenue, they were actually minus 12%, right? Minus 11.2, minus 12%.